Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Before we begin, you are kindly requested to please put your phones on silent mode. Thank you. AUB Administration, Faculty of the Education Department, our esteemed guest speaker, Your Excellency Minister of Education and Higher Education, Dr. Rima Karami, family and friends. Welcome to the 27th Education Pledge Ceremony. We gather today to recognize and take pride in the accomplishments of these aspiring educators. The pledge ceremony marks the beginning of their journey into education as a profession, a path that demands dedication, resilience, and heart, but offers immeasurable rewards. So thank you all for being here to celebrate this year's graduates. Thank you. The Acting Chair of the Department of Education, Dr. Tamer Amin, will address our esteemed audience with a welcoming word on behalf of the department. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Amin to the stage.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of my colleagues at the Department of Education, I'd like to welcome you all to the Education Pledge Ceremony of 2025. I'd especially like to welcome Her Excellency, the Minister of Education, Higher Education, our dear friend and colleague, Dr. Rima Karami, who is with us today. We're delighted that she'll be our guest speaker this year. I'd also like to welcome Dr. Faris Dahdah, Mamdouh Al-Sayed Bobs, Dean of the Faculty of Arts and Sciences. Thank you for being here with us today. And thank you very much for other members of the AUB administration, Provost Dawi, Deputy Provost Shwairi, Vice Provost Tucker, and VP for Development Baalbaki. Thank you all for your support. We're honored to have you with us today. Now, then I want to thank the friends and family of the graduates, but most of all, I'd like to welcome to this event today this year's diploma and BA graduates at the Department of Education, and it's you that we are here to celebrate. As I was reflecting on what I'd like to say in my brief, hopefully brief, welcoming remarks, I found that everything I wanted to say seemed to revolve around the word expertise. First, of course, we're gathered here now to mark the fact that AUB officially recognizes that these 34 wonderful individuals have achieved a sufficient level of expertise to embark on careers as educators of various fields or various kinds. My faculty colleagues and I in the department, our faculty colleagues and I in the department and our colleagues in partner schools who served as mentors for our graduates have done their best to create learning experiences for you to develop knowledge, skills, and attitudes that will help you start your careers with confidence. But I want you to reflect a little bit with me on what expertise is. So we often speak of an expert, and I put an expert in quotes, as if one is either an expert or not an expert. But of course, you all know that you have a lot to learn, and we all know that expertise is a matter of degree. Developing expertise is a journey that keeps on going. That much is clear. Maybe less obvious and worth a moment's reflection is that when we think about expertise, we're often thinking about individuals. It's the individual people who we think of as experts in something. When we think in that way, we focus on individuals' knowledge and skills, and before we grant degrees, we assess whether the person has developed enough of these skills and knowledge that we would consider worthy of the degree. And when we consider career advancement, we focus on ourselves as lifelong learners and make sure to embrace opportunities for personal professional development and growth. That's how we typically think about expertise. But that may not be the most productive way, And I think it seems to be time to think differently. After all, the point of expertise is not having it. It's what you do with it. So as educators, what we are expected to do is to create learning experiences for others. That's not something one person does. Many people were involved in creating the learning experiences for your education. And many people, including faculty, teacher mentors, and even your students, supported you in your learning journey. So the students that you yourselves were teaching had to be there for you to be able to learn how to teach. So, in other words, it takes a village to educate. And if that is true, if that is true, we should each start thinking about our expertise somewhat differently. Instead of asking, how much do I know? How much expertise do I have? We can ask, what's my role in what we are trying to achieve? And am I in a position to fulfill my role and contribute as needed? Of course, that might lead each of us to ask ourselves as individuals, do I have the knowledge and skills and motivation to fulfill this role? But when we approach expertise in this way, we're more likely as a group to achieve what we are trying to achieve together. This may be more likely to make a real impact. Another less obvious aspect of expertise is the role of the tools we use. Every area of expertise has its specialized language, devices, software, and without these tools, we wouldn't be able to do much in our chosen profession. So, of course, there's a new tool in particular that we're all thinking and talking about these days, artificial intelligence. We're all excited, but also afraid of what this super tool is going to do. Will it change us? Will it even replace us? And as teachers, we're asking, should I let students use it? How can I assess students who have a tool like this available to them? So we're all grappling with these questions, and it's not the time to talk much about this. I need to conclude this speech before I start to bore you, especially those who took 215 with me recently, and I talked about expertise in class probably too much. So what I really want to say is that we need to shift our thinking about expertise from ourselves and our students as individuals to what role we are each playing and what we're trying to achieve together. So we can ask instead, what learning experiences are we trying to create for our students? How can AI help us? We can also ask, what roles do we want for our students to be playing in their group projects? How can AI help them? And when we assess, we can ask, is each student using whatever tools available, and are they fulfilling their role as expected? I won't go on, but I'm trying to say that we should stop thinking about our expertise as individuals working alone or as a bare mind without tools, thinking instead about a person playing a role in a group, trying to achieve something together collectively. And that brings me to our guest speaker today, Dr. Rima Karami. So finally, the Ministry of Education and Higher Education, as many other ministries in the current Lebanese government, is being led by an individual with the knowledge, skills, and attitudes suited to her role. And because we in the Department of Education know her well, we know that she is the first person to recognize that achieving anything of value can only be achieved by a group of people, each fulfilling their role to the best of their abilities. So let me end by suggesting that what we are celebrating today is not individuals who have completed the requirements of their degrees and diplomas, but a group of people ready to fulfill their roles and eager to achieve important things together. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Amin. It gives us great honor to continue our ceremony with a word from the Dean of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Faris Al-Dahdah. Let us all welcome Dean Al-Dahdah to the stage.
Hello, everyone. And thank you all for being here today. So as you just heard, I'm Faris Dahdah, the Mamdouh Al-Sayyid Bobs Dean of the Faculty of Arts and Sciences, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the 2025 Education Pledge ceremony. By now, some of you may have heard me say that the pledge you are about to take is not just symbolic. It is a serious, even solemn event or moment. And the sentiment keeps growing heavier each year, not because its words have changed, but because the world has. In past speeches, I've given two here before, I've talked about the ways education once defined Lebanon's strength, our medicine, our banking, our tourism, our universities. And I've reminded us, with some nostalgia and some frustration, that we were once the country who asked the neighbors to invest in books rather than weapons. That opportunity was missed, and we are now left with education as our last line of defense. This year, though, something else has crept in, something that many of us in this room have already encountered. It's not just war or crisis or institutional collapse, it is speed. We are now living, teaching, learning, thinking, in a world where change arrives faster than understanding can keep up, where machines finish our sentences, complete our thoughts, even write our essays, sometimes convincingly. This is not a distant possibility, it is happening now. And these new systems force us to face a new kind of reflection on what it means to be an educator. When I sat down to draft the speech, I experimented with one of those systems, not because I wanted a shortcut, but because I wanted to better understand what we're up against, or maybe what we're working alongside. The machine offered structure, coherence, even tone, but could not offer context, or ethics, or memory. It did not know this country, it did not know you. That, I believe, is where you and your pledge come in. You are not pledging to instruct content alone, you are pledging to preserve something much more fragile: truth, integrity, trust. And in a world where those things can be synthesized, fabricated, or gamed by code, your presence in a classroom, your humanity, matters more than ever. As you take this pledge, you step into an old and honorable tradition, one rooted in different faiths, different philosophies, different cultures, all of which agree on at least one thing: that education is a moral act. So take this pledge seriously, because the future, whatever form it takes, will still need people who know how to think slowly, speak clearly, and act responsibly. And if there was ever a moment when the career path you've chosen can and must have a socially meaningful outcome, this is it. Congratulations to each and every one of you, over here and over there, and to your parents and families as well. Their support got you here, you make them proud, and you make us proud. So we are counting on you, and more than that, we need you. Mabruk, and thank you for making this pledge.
Thank you, Dean Al-Dahdah. This really means a lot to all of us. I am honored to present our esteemed guest speaker for this year, Her Excellency Minister of Education and Higher Education, Dr. Rima Karame. Dr. Karame is an associate professor and program advisor in the Department of Education at AUB. She is the director and principal investigator of Tamam Project, whose goal is to initiate school-based reform in Lebanon and the region. Her Excellency currently serves as chairperson of the Executive Committee of the Arab Educational Information Network. Dr. Karame is the recipient of the UNESCO Hamdan Prize for Teacher Development in the year 2021-2022, and we are all very proud to have her here with us. Dr. Karame, the stage is yours.
Good afternoon. It's great to be home. So I will start my speech and saying that I'm really, really happy to have this opportunity and very honored. So it's truly a pleasure and a deeply emotional moment for me to stand here with you today, to return to AUB, not just as an alumna or a former chair of this very department, but now as the Minister of Education of Lebanon. It's an honor I carry with deep humility and immense responsibility. Allow me to begin by offering my heartfelt congratulations to each and every one of you graduating today. This is your moment. It marks the culmination of years of commitment, perseverance, and growth. You've done this in a time of extraordinary challenge in Lebanon and globally. So take pride in what you've achieved, because your graduation is not only a personal milestone, it's also a sign of collective resilience. As I stand here, I can't help but reflect on my own journey at AUB. I was once where you are now, filled with ambition, hope, and a deep yearning to make a difference. AUB and my professors at the Department of Education shaped my thinking, my identity, and my vision for education. It taught me that learning is not only about knowledge and credentials, but about character, conviction, and service. This university does not merely equip you with a degree. It calls you to serve and to lead. And lead, we must. Lebanon stands at a turning point. The fabric of our education system has been stretched and torn by years of cumulative crises, economic, social, political, and infrastructural, which left many of our students behind. We are in a moment that tests not only our systems, but our collective will to rebuild. But I believe wholeheartedly that it's precisely in such moments that transformation becomes possible. And this is where institutions like AUB and graduates like you become indispensable. Again, AUB is a unique institution. It's not just the region's most prestigious university. It's a place where excellence is pursued in tandem with a moral compass, where ideas are not only debated, but translated into action, where every classroom carries the weight of legacy and the possibility of impact. As an academic and educator, I've long admired the intellectual rigor and courage that AUB fosters and enables among its faculty and students. As a minister, I now see more than ever the critical role AUB and its Department of Education can play in shaping national policy, informing evidence-based reform, and training the educational leaders Lebanon so urgently needs. My dear graduates, you are among the fortunate. You've had the privilege to learn and grow in a university that dares to lead in the hardest of times, but with that privilege comes responsibility. You are stepping into a world not just as fresh graduates, but as ambassadors of a vision of what education can do in the face of crisis, a vision of how knowledge can be reclaimed to serve justice, renewal, and hope. You carry with you the responsibility to help Lebanon rise again through its classrooms, its schools, and its children. So let me speak for a moment about the task ahead and the plan I'm building with my team at the Ministry of Education. Our strategy is anchored in 3 priorities. The first is to professionalize teaching. Expertise, maybe, as defined by Dr. Amin, but teaching must be treated as the dignified, skilled, and essential profession that it is. For too long, our teachers have been undervalued, underpaid, undersupported, and yet they are the ones who hold the future of this nation in their hands. We are developing a national teacher, we're hoping to be developing a national teacher licensing framework grounded in standards of quality and ethics, and coupled and sustained with sustained professional development. Our goal is to move beyond ad hoc trainings to a career-long development path so that teaching becomes a career of growth, mastery, and pride. The second is to digitize education for inclusion and innovation. The crisis we endured revealed just how fragile and unequal access to education can be. But they also showed us what is possible when we embrace technology thoughtfully and equitably. Our vision for digitization is not merely about distributing devices. It's about rethinking the entire learning experience. We aim to develop digital platforms, teacher-friendly tools, and policies that ensure that no child, regardless of geography, ability, or background, is left out of learning. Digitization also demands digital citizenship, an ethical, informed, and responsible approach to how we use technology. This is where academic collaboration becomes essential, and this is where I see AUB as a vital partner in rethinking pedagogy for that digital age. Third, my part, building leadership capacity for school improvements and sustainable school improvement. No system improves without leadership. But leadership, especially in education, is about building a culture of collaboration where change is possible, where people feel empowered to act, and where innovation is enabled through structure. So, the aim is to launch programs that build the capacity of principals, supervisors, and ministry officials, not just to implement policy, but to lead it from within, to problem solve, to mentor, and to sustain improvement. This is a vision very close to my heart, one I have spent my academic life at AUB building through the Tamam project, and one I now plan to carry into national policy. But none of these priorities can succeed without committed educators like you. So my dear graduates, you are not entering the workforce at a time of comfort or ease. You are stepping into a country in need of rebuilding, but you are also stepping in with the most powerful tools at your disposal: your education, your values, and your agency. Let me be clear. I'm not here today to inspire you. I'm here to invite you to join the work, to bring your ideas, your research, your field experience into the national conversation. Lebanon needs your creativity, your energy, your voice. You are not only product of this institution, you are its legacy in motion. So I ask you, what will you do with what you have received? How will you use your education, your voice, your values? Will you teach a child who has lost everything how to read? Will you mentor a young teacher in a forgotten village? Will you design an inclusive learning app that reaches rural students? Will you stand up for equity in a broken system? These are not hypothetical questions. These are the work waiting for you. Whether you become teachers, researchers, policy advocates, or community leaders, you are now part of the force that will shape the future of education in Lebanon. Lebanon needs more than knowledge. It needs courage, compassion, and collective action, and you have what it takes. So let your work be guided by empathy, by evidence, and by a commitment to justice. Challenge old paradigms, support your peers, listen to your students, and always remember, leadership is not about titles, but about the impact you choose to make. So as you celebrate this milestone today, do so with pride, but also with purpose. AUB and its compassionate Department of Education has given you much. Now it's your turn to give back to your communities, to your students, and to your country. Congratulations to each and every one of you. May your journey ahead be filled with courage, curiosity, and unwavering hope. May you lead boldly, serve wisely, and teach as though the future depends on it, because it does. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Karami, for your motivating words. At this point, I would like to invite Ms. Sara Al-Zahabi, who will be speaking on behalf of the graduating students.
Good evening, AUB administration, Faculty of Education Department, our esteemed guest speaker, Dr. Rima Karami, families, and friends. Today, we stand at a crossroads, a place between where we were and where we are going. And this moment feels surreal because there was a time, not so long ago, when I wasn't sure I belonged here. When I first came to AUB, I had no intention of majoring in education. I was set on business, like so many others. But something inside me shifted before the semester even started. I found myself asking to transfer into education. The registrar's office called to double-check if I was sure. Honestly, I wasn't, but I did it anyways. Even then, I would go to the business school every day, stand there thinking, should I transfer back? Especially that I was consistently told I'm too soft to be a teacher. But something inside me said, no, don't. And I'm glad I didn't, because it's not the major I have experienced. It's the people I have met along the way. It's this department, this community. It's the professors who have become more than just instructors. They have become mentors and role models. I remember during the open house, a prospective student asked me, are the professors here nice? And honestly, no. They are incredible. Sure, they sometimes overwhelm us with assignments and set high expectations, but only because they believe in us. They know we can accomplish things we haven't even dreamed of yet. They see something in us that we often don't see in ourselves, and for that, we owe them everything. We are graduating with degrees in different specializations, whether it's elementary education, online education, special education, math, science, TEFL, or education, leadership, and management. But no matter what our path is, we all share one thing in common: the drive to make a difference in the world of education. Each of us is prepared to step into unique roles, from teaching to leading to innovating. And the impact we have will be felt in different ways, at different levels, but all through profoundly. We've been through excruciating times during this academic year. Last semester, we found ourselves in the midst of a war that brought pain and loss to so many of us. But even in the darkest moments, we kept going. We switched to online classes, our internships continued, and somehow we adapted. We pushed through despite everything. And in a way, that experience made us stronger, more defiant, and more resilient. One of the greatest lessons I have learned, and I'm sure many of you have too, comes from our students and mentors during our internships. You see, it's easy to think we're the ones doing the teaching, the ones guiding, the ones shaping the future. But the truth is, our students and mentors taught us more than we could have ever imagined. They reminded us of the passion we have from when we first started this journey, and taught us about unwavering determination and goal setting to achieve the best we can under any given circumstances, war or no war. Your Excellency, Minister of Education and Higher Education, Dr. Karami, to you, I plead to help us correct the image about the teaching profession and teachers. How can we professionalize the teaching profession? We are always concerned about our students in public schools. So what does it take to improve the public schools conditions? And we, as students graduating from this program, what can we do to contribute to the betterment of the public schools? How can we reinforce equity in education in Lebanon? And finally, are our students in public schools prepared for the AI age as in other schools? Your Excellency, these are difficult questions we all think about, and with no doubt, you do too. I would like to end my speech by thanking our parents and families for supporting us throughout our journey. Many thanks go to our mentors and cooperating schools. And special heartfelt gratitude goes to our Department of Education and our professors who believed in our potentials. Congratulations, class of 2025. أيها الحفل الكريم، نحن لا نحتفل اليوم بنهاية طريق، بل ببداية جديدة، بداية وعد نجدده مع أنفسنا، أن نستمر حتى وإن كنا متعبين، أن نواصل حتى إن لم يسمع صوتنا دائماً، لأن الإيمان بالتعليم هو إيمان بالناس، إيمان بأن في كل طالب رسالة تنتظر أن تقال، وأن لكل منا دوراً لا يمكن لأحد أن يشغله سواه. وفي النهاية قد لا نملك كل الإجابات، ولكن طالما ما زلنا نسأل أنفسنا كيف يمكنني أن أكون أحسن، أصدق وأعمق، فنحن نسير في الطريق الصحيح. Class of 2025 من القلب ألف مبروك.
Thank you for your touching words. Now it is time to take the education pledge. I would like to invite Dr. Aman Buzainuddin to the stage to lead the pledge.
Good afternoon to all. Here we go. BA students, class of 2025, please rise. Raise your right hand. Teaching diploma and diploma students, class of 2025, please rise. Raise your right hand. When I finish reading the pledge, please say I do in affirmation of your commitment to the pledge. I pledge to lead the life of an educator, to promote moral and academic excellence. I pledge to advance a learning environment, to encourage students to venture, seek, and persevere. I pledge to be an instrument of inspiration, to transmit integrity, respect, and trust. I pledge to dedicate myself to the welfare of my profession, to nurture the aspirations of future generations. In the presence of this gathering, I bind myself to this affirmation. Congratulations. You may be seated. You may be seated.
Let me present to you the graduating BA students for academic year 2024-25. BA graduates, please rise. طالع الحج حسين. لما الهجار. مروة الحسامي with distinction. فرح شهاب. Sara الذهبي with high distinction and recipient of the Educators Endowed Award and the Jack and Huda Afram Manok Endowed Award. Lynn Halawi with distinction. Amar Hambouz. Noura Hassoun. فرح خنسة. Saleh Safiyuddin with distinction. And Saleh is the second recipient of the Educators Endowed Award. Aya Tajuddin with distinction and recipient of the Khawla Hbe'a Rizq Endowed Award. Dean Dahdah, let me present to you the teaching diploma and diploma graduate students for academic year 24-25. Teaching diploma and diploma students, please rise. So we start with teaching diploma elementary education. Jana Abu Shara. Yara Kanaan. Hiba Malaib, recipient of the Randa Azam Khoury Award. Secondary education, teaching of science. Halima Barakat. Vera Ibrahim. Diploma in Special Education, Marwa Al-Husami. Sukaina Al-Musawi. Karen Fadil. Muna Itani. Dana Kahil. Naima Kayal, recipient of the Burhan and Rabab Baalbaki Award. Diploma in Management and Leadership, Mirna Azzam. Ali Dukmab. Lamal Osman. Lynn Halawi. Where is Lynn Halawi? Okay. I was wondering where she is. Graduate Diploma in Online Education. Khayriya Abdi. Julia Abdel Khaliq. Rita Aghvourian. Sarah Hussein Fayyad. Philip Haj, Jana Jamal, Yusuf Nasif, Johaina Raidan, and last but not least, Christine Farah Salami. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you, President Khoury and
Congratulations, class of 2025. You did it! I kindly request of everyone to remain seated until the last graduating student has left the hall. Please join us in the award ceremony for the Faculty of Arts and Sciences Awards.